Get ready, because we're going to make another haunted hidey hole. Or actually, it's going to be a steampunk hole. And it may or may not be haunted. I don't know. I'm not a ghost hunter. So my mom started this bust. She put the zipper and all this paper on it. But then she gave it to me to finish it up. So I just cut a hole in the chest. Stupid blades keep getting stuck. There we go. All right, I almost got it. And it's free. And I only left this part in because it's super satisfying to peel all this stuff off. And I thought you would want to watch it too. And see, this is going to be a door, but don't worry, we'll come back to this later. For right now, I'm going to foil my hole. The hole is being foiled as we speak. But this stuff makes a huge mess. So I use my fortress of suction to suck up all the crafting herpes. There, we have one foiled hole. Now I'm going to put wire around my hole. Look, I only filmed myself bending one of these sides, but I need 4. So I just repeated the footage 4 times. But nobody will know, okay? Shh, don't tell anyone. And that looks nice. It finishes off my hole. Next, every project needs a circle window. So here I'm making a circle window out of Shrinky Dink plastic, which is the best plastic to make Shrinky Dink circle windows for. Yeah. Did you see that transition? It was good, right? And then we didn't want like a flat window on here. We need it molded to the bust. So I melted it, but it kept burning my fingers. So finally I tape it up. I know, I have big brain. And that worked so much better. Look, it looks like a Pringles chip. You know, once you pop, you can't stop. All right, there's our hole. And sharp corners are a no-no for holes. So we gotta sand it. And do you know what's better than 1 circle window hole? 2 circle window holes. So yeah, I'm adding a second circle window down here. And we're just gonna melt that one just like the first one and pop out the hole and get rid of those sharp edges. Okay, now let's install our windows. I mean, personally, I'm more of a Mac fan myself, but when it comes to circle windows, I'm not. Anyways, now I'm just adding some gears to the windows for like extra detailness. Gotta add those deets. Should I just start abbreviating normal conversations? No, that's too much work. And then I added this weird fan thing. I think it's from a computer. I'm not sure. It came from my mom and she gave me a bunch of junk and there was a lot of gears and fans and weird stuff in there. Ooh, but look at this bottle. What would you keep in a bottle like that? I mean, assuming that this is like a house with windows and stuff, I would probably keep rainwater in there maybe, or like bug spray. But if it's like a steampunk outfit, I would keep my perfume in there. Ooh, or my pixie dust, which is not a euphemism for something. I just mean like it would be pixie dust that helps me fly, because honestly, if we're just making up stories anyway, I'm going to be able to fly, okay? And then I added some more deets, as in details. Okay, I don't like that word. Oh, and then what's better than a normal circle window? A spider web circle window. I mean, honestly, I just like watching it shrink. All right, let's put it right there. Look, 3 is the magic number anyway. I don't know why I didn't just do 3 circle windows to begin with. This bust is looking a little dull, so I thought I'd add some foil to brighten it up. Shine it up, I guess. And where there's foil, there's a fortress of suction. I think I just like saying the fortress of suction. It's like a supervillain. It's like the supervillain's lair located in Hooverville or Sucktown. Okay, that sounds bad. Maybe not Sucktown. Suck City. And his superpowers are sucking up enemies, which include Glitterman and Dust Bunny Woman. I think we have a real comic here. Somebody write this, because I'm too lazy to make it and I'm too busy making this bust, okay? So yeah. Anyway, so I added some patina to make it look old, and now I'm adding holes to my bust. Because I don't know if I mentioned, but I'm gonna be adding lights to the back. And these holes will be like little stars. See, look, they're like little glittery spots. Look at all the smoke coming off. You think it's okay to breathe this stuff? Oh, and look at that. I'm adding more foil. Imagine that. Okay, I may have gone a little foil overboard on this project. Did I like the clock hand better before? I sure did. But now I have to live with the consequences of my actions, because I'm not gonna try to strip that foil off. That would be way too much work. And like we stated before, I am lazy. Ooh, and then I thought this bust was missing like the fabric aspect of it. That way it felt more like a garment and less like a building, even though we're kind of making it a building. Honestly, I don't know what this is gonna be. Maybe like a house? Maybe it's a house for your steampunk soul. Anyways, I made my choices and I don't have to justify them to you, okay? Live with it. Whoa, did that sound angry? I'm not angry. I'm not yelling at you. Okay, so after I added all these little pieces of fabric, I figured that the holes needed some, I don't know, hole love? Is that a thing? Like it needed some decoration. It needed the deets. That's funny, because I'm pretty sure deets mean like your digits, maybe? I'm so uncool. I don't know what the cool kids are saying nowadays. All right, now let's lace up our bust with this string, which I didn't like the white, so I just painted it. See, ta-da! It's brown now. which I liked so much better than the white. And then I just laced up my bust like a super tight corset. Or wait, isn't it a corset? Maybe it's corset. I don't know. You know what I'm talking about, and don't come at me in the comments. Ooh, and then I had these really ugly cloth napkins with weird embroidery flowers on them. Who uses cloth napkins except fancy people? And I'm definitely not fancy people. In fact, my napkins are just paper towels. I don't even buy the square napkins unless, you know, the in-laws are coming over or something. And even then I don't buy napkins. Oh, except for during birthday parties. Then I get the ones with the balloons. That's about as fancy as I get. And then I had this old strap that came from a purse that completely fell apart. See, look, I'm just barely scraping it, and all this pleather, you know, plastic leather, even though it doesn't feel like plastic. It feels like, I don't even know, mushrooms, kind of. I know that's a weird description for fabric, but it does. It feels like mushrooms. Anyway, so I'm like super frugal, so I always buy cheap purses, and then they fall apart, and then I get to use them in art projects. So it's like dual purpose. That way I don't feel so bad about buying cheap purses, because I know fast fashion. Oh my gosh. Fast fashion is bad. You know what? You try saying that 10 times fast, or, you know, at all. Anywho, so now I'm just adding some pipes to my bust. It's a busty pipe. The pipe busted? The busted pipe? You know what? We added pipes to the bust, and I don't know why a bust would need pipes other than it's going to run the steam-powered engines inside of our steam-powered bust. Because if somebody's living in here, they're going to need some steam power or something. I don't know where the steam is happening because the pipes just end right here. But it doesn't matter. We're not going to think about it too hard. And then I added these other pipes because they were cool looking, and that's what we're going with. Also, it kind of reminds me of a xylophone, and I like the idea that it's some sort of wind chime playing outside of our window. Even the wind chimes are evil. Just trust me. What? Who said that? Anyways, maybe it'd be a good time to ask you if maybe you could, you know, like and follow and do the things if you want to. You don't have to. I hate asking, but I am working really hard at trying to bring you longer content on the tubes of you know, YouTube. So if you like it, leave a comment and a like, and I would love that, because the longer format is harder to do, and if you don't like it, let me know and I'll go back. Anyways, sorry about that. Back to the video. Oh my gosh, am I not done adding all these pipes yet? Come on, Ashley, hurry up. Nobody wants to watch this. Here we go, something different. A screw into the clay. Three screws into the clay. I guess that makes it look more pipey. I don't know. Then I had this gauge for, you know, gauging the steam that comes through. Even though it doesn't attach to a pipe, I'm going to put it in the shoulder because it detects the shoulder pressure of the steam. Oh, and then I noticed that the light shows through right here. So I'm going to add gears to the back, but I don't have to add actual gears. I could just use a marker to draw. Okay, the marker doesn't show up very well, so I'm going to use paint to paint them on. But at some point I got tired of making perfect circles because circles are hard to paint. So a few of them are just plastic circles. And then I did add one real gear. Only because I was tired of drawing gears. All right, I lied. I actually added 2 more gears, but you can't argue with that outcome. Look, you can see the little gears. It's a shadow. It's cool. Okay, it's cool. And I know what cool is. See, look at this top. This top is pretty cool. It even works. All right, I actually stole it from my daughter. She won't even notice that it's gone. She's got so many junk plastic toys. Anyways, here's me trying to figure out where to put it. First I tried the boob, then I tried the armpit, and then the neck maybe. But ultimately I ended up on the armpit because, you know, I didn't want to try to fit it around a curved surface, and the armpit's pretty flat. And who doesn't want a pit window? I mean, I bet everybody would wish that they could open up their pit window, get some ventilation in there. At least people standing next to you in line if you have stinky pee. I don't know where I'm going with this. Anyways, there's our almost circle pit window, which I started to finish off with this wire. And I took my time and I bent it around the window, but ultimately it just didn't fit. I couldn't get it just right. So instead I undid all my hard work and cut it apart into short, tiny, straight pieces. And then I wrapped wire around it, and it looks good, right? It looks good, but honestly, it's just to hide how terrible I cut these because they're not exactly straight. And the detail distracts you from how terrible everything looks. Okay, it still looks terrible. So I worked really hard at reshaping a new piece of wire, and I think it looks okay. Just don't look at it directly. You squint and look away a little bit. And then I found this, what is this called? Handle, I guess. Words are hard, and I'm just gonna call it a handle. So this handle will control the steam, and it makes sense. Oh, and then, so I was thinking maybe steam isn't enough power to run our steam-powered bust, and maybe our steam-powered bust needs to be run on crystals as well. So I'm making kind of like crystal battery packs. But we can't have dull crystal battery packs. I gotta add glitter. So that's what I did. I added glitter and mica powder, and now it's shiny battery packs. But for safety, I have to encase it into a glass dome because, you know, electricity is dangerous. Look how cool it is. Hold on, you can't see the cool. Okay, that's much better. Now you can see all the cool. See the coolness? Okay, but we can't have just one battery pack. I mean, what if it runs out? We need a backup battery. But, you know, I get bored with making the same thing over and over. So I made this one different with clear quartz crystals. Ooh, that's a mouthful. Clear quartz crystals. Clear quartz crystals. Anyways, there's my clear quartz crystals battery pack. Now let's install them on the shoulder. And I know you're saying, Ashley, why are you adding holes? Well, I'll tell you why. Because I'm going to add lights to the top. That way our crystals will be lit. Lighting up your crystals make them 273% better. Trust me, the maths. And we definitely want our project to be 732% better. Anyways, so now I'm doing the inside, and I was going to add these pipes because, you know, pipes and steampunk are like peanut butter and ham. But then I realized, Ashley, you're being an idiot. You need to add lights to this. It's not an Ashley project without lights. And it's going to be so much easier to add lights without these pipes in the way. Ooh, that rhymes. It's very important to remember to always add your lights before the pipes. So then I fished all of my lights through, which, you know, when you fish a ton of tiny little string lights through a tiny little hole, they tend to get tangled on the other side. This took me forever to detangle, but you know what? Sometimes the ADHD troll can be your friend and he can help you hyperfocus. And that's what happened. I hyperfocused on this mess of lights and I got them. I got all the lights untangled. Yay for ADHD. Which, by the way, spoiler alert, I have ADHD. In case you didn't notice it. I know it shows quite often, but sometimes I like to use it as a superpower and sometimes it can be your friend, but usually it's your enemy. It's just how you choose to use it. Oh, so if you're wondering, I started to add the lights and then I realized I need to paint before I add any more lights so I don't paint over them. Duh, Ashley, you gotta go in logical order. And nobody wants painted lights because then they'd be all dim and not very lit and boring. They'd be boring. And then do you remember the hole that we first cut in the bust? I know it was so long ago. Here's the hole. Remember it now? Yeah, so that hole's gonna line up right here. That's why I'm adding this wood. It will make more sense later, but just trust me, something cool is gonna go here. All right, I need to find a better word for cool. Rad. Something rad's gonna go there. Oh, and then here's my boxes of stuff I'll never use and junk that I should toss. That's right, we're gonna use both boxes in this project. Although for right now, I'm just adding some more gears around this lit hole, or I guess what's gonna be a lit hole. Right now it's just lit up plywood. But I promise it will get more rad. Okay, I don't like that word. I will find the perfect cool word. Chic, hip, groovy. I could just say lit, although that's too on point. I know, I could be like the hip kids and say on fleek. Nope, that's not it. Okay, I'll work on it and get back to you. Anyways, so after I added some more gears and some of that junk from my junk boxes, I basically glued down every piece of junk that I had down at the bottom here because you're not really going to be able to see it anyways, except maybe vaguely through the windows. And I just wanted it to look interesting. Like maybe there's something happening back here, but you don't know because you can't really see through the windows very well. Also, it was a really good way to get rid of all my trash. A lot of this stuff is just from failed projects that I did in the past. Ooh, and then I took these glass bottles and shoved little colorful pieces of cellophane inside. That way they're more colorful. And then I glued them on top of a light. So when the light shines through, it makes the light colorful. And then I have this broken bottle, which I was just saving for this project. Okay, I wasn't. I'm a hoarder. But now I've justified my hoard. So you get the idea. I glued down a bunch of trash. There, doesn't it look interesting? In other words, if you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all. You know what? It doesn't matter. You're not going to be able to see this stuff anyway, but through the circle windows, it'll kind of look like... Dang it, it kind of looks like Christmas lights. I mean, yeah, sure, I could have achieved this look with Christmas lights, but then I would have all this junk still, and I think it still looks more interesting than Christmas lights would have. Okay, so now we need to get to that hole. That's right, we're gonna add a heart to our hole. But first we got scribble out our frustrations with the scribble method. Whoops, let me just clean that right up. And back to scribbling. Look, I got a lot of anger to scribble out, and sometimes I just do this without needing to transfer pictures. It's cheaper than therapy. Okay, after tracing it, it transfers to the wood, and then we cut it out. Bam! One heart-shaped piece of wood. Next, we need floors for our heart. Shake, shake. Oh, look at that. It's a semicircle floor. Now we just install our floor with some wood glue. And I added this little strip of wood just for support because the floor kept falling over. However, one floor would be boring, so I added 2 floors. And that's why they call me Ashley 2 Floors. And then I thought the heart could use some deets. Remember, we're using that word for details. I am going to start a new trend with that word. I don't care what it actually means. Look at those good deets. And now I'm just painting my heart because nobody wants an unpainted heart, I assume. Actually, I don't know. Maybe you'd want one. But per usual, I painted it the wrong color. So now I'm just repainting the heart. And then how are you going to move between these 2 floors, you might be asking? With a ladder hole. What's a ladder hole? Well, it's a hole for your ladder, obviously. Psh. So I'm carving one out, just big enough to hold my ladder. Look at that lovely ladder. Yeah, that's a good looking ladder. And now you can move between floors. Who's moving between the floors? I have no idea. Okay, wait, because it's a steampunk bust, it probably belongs to a steampunk person, right? You know, a person who runs on steam. And in order for their organs to all function normally, there's people inside running them. Tiny little body people. We don't know what the body people run on, but it doesn't matter because they're running our steampunk person. Anyways, if you were paying attention to the video, you might have a few questions for me. Like, why do I keep moving this watch around? It's because I'm indecisive and I don't know what I'm doing. Do you know what I'm doing? And if so, can you clue me in? Ooh, so I had this like fuse. I think it's a fuse. I don't know. But I took out all the stuff in the middle and I'm replacing it with this coil wire. Whoops, get into the tube. Now we just gotta cap it. And there, it kind of looks like a little DNA strand. I don't know. Dang it, it's a little too small, but that's okay. We'll just use some wood spacers. Dang it, get back here. All right, after I painted them, I glued them in, and then I added our DNA strand, because I guess that's what we're going with. It's a DNA strand. I mean, it makes sense. This is a steampunk person, and the people need DNA. And what does steampunk DNA look like? It looks like a fuse. And then I added some more gears, because I like gears, and gears are cool. And they're easy to add, and they always look cool. Yeah, I know, it's a cop-out. Whatever. All right, and maybe the steam power doesn't power our heart completely, so we need some more crystal power inside the heart. So I'm just gonna add some crystals right here. See these crystals? I added them. And it's looking pretty good. Now we just need to bang some wire. Ready? Hi-ya! Okay, we can stop banging the wire. They get the idea. Okay, good. So now we'll just use this to finish off our floors in our heart. We can't have unfinished floors in our heart. That's right, we need all the deets in our heart. Anyways, so then I added it to my bust. Look how good it looks. I love this heart. I kind of just want to make a heart by itself now without the whole pesky bust part. But you know, since we worked so hard on it, I guess we'll add it. But I know you're wondering, what do those circle windows look like, Ashley? Well, let me give you a sneak peek. Look at them. Are they not spectacular? They certainly are. And we only strive for spectacular circle windows. Anyways, so we have that huge gaping hole in our chest that we filled with a heart. And I figured it could use a door in case you want to, you know, close the heart. Seems a little weird to have an open heart, unless you're speaking metaphorically. So I'm just covering the plastic chunk that we cut out with clay, giving it a nice little massage. That's not weird, you're weird. Okay, and so now I'm giving it a metal texture. At least that's what I think it looks like. And then I spank my clay. Do you not spank your clay? All right, again, my videos are getting a little weird. Sorry about that. And now I'm just adding some details to the door. So it looks like it kind of works, like it would open, even though, you know, it's not. It's going to be glued on. Or more like I'm going to use clay to adhere it on because clay is so much stronger than glue. And hold up, watch this. New transition. Woo! Yay, now there's dirt on our door. It's a dirty door. And you might be asking, what the heck happened here? Well, I covered it in patina and I kind of went overboard. So I wiped a little bit off. And now we attach our door to the hole. Next, I'm going to add this little lock. It's probably from my diary when I was 7. Man, I was so cringy back then. But I mean, who wasn't? Man, who put this key on the lock thing? Good thing I'm a super awesome lock picker. You can pick your locks, but you can't pick your nose. No, you can't pick your lock's nose. Your lock knows how to pick its nose. Nobody knows how many noses Peter Piper can pick. It's 42. Okay, this is going downhill fast. Anyways, I wrapped my bust with chains. See, look at all the chains. It's like some sort of steampunk chastity belt, but for your heart. Which honestly would be more useful anyway. Look at that, I just keep going with the chains. You think I'd have enough? Nope, I add more. Look at all those. I'm adding some to the belly. I mean the zipper, the belly zipper. Oh, thank goodness we have an octopus. We can finally end the chain sequence, the chain gang. What I'm trying to say is that we can finally stop talking about chains, and yet somehow here we are still talking about chains. Look, I've been talking for 19 minutes straight, and at this point, I don't know what else to talk about. I feel like I've talked about it all. We talked about the Fortress of Suction, we talked about circle windows, we talked about toys. What else do you want from me? Oh no. Dang it, I lost a screw down the hole. And my arm is too big to reach it. It's just gonna live there now, okay? That's where it lives. And nobody can evict that screw. Okay, time to take the tape off of the octopus. And look what I have to deal with on a daily basis. Look at these guys. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love their stupid fuzzy faces. But look at them, up to no good. Anyways, we're finally done. Oh my gosh, that was a long one. Sorry. But if you're still here, I feel like this needs a name. Should we name it? Like Busty McBusterson, Steampunk, Steamy Daniel. No, boobs. Okay, no. Dang it, now all I can think of is boobs. Philip. Its name is Philip. Okay, instead of talking, I'm just gonna play some music because my mouth is tired. Okay, commence with the music. With their nails done. Okay, thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Okay, thanks, bye!